And we're live.
We've talked about it many years ago, but gang stalking, I somehow found something about gang stalking again that got me interested in reading their subreddit about gang stalking again. And reminder, gang stalking is when people believe that dozens of people, if not more, hundreds, are following them in similarly colored cars, and they want to either kill them or harm them. And it could be something as simple as someone approaching you in the supermarket and saying, "Did you notice that? How much are those avocados? Are they're $6.99 a pound or $6.65 a pound?" It's like, oh, they're using the number 6. That's an evil number. They're trying to steal my energy. They're trying to pin me down. I have to get out of here. And so it's like, it's genuine. Like, I thought it was going to be more entertaining to read through it, but it turns out it's just like a cavalcade of people with clearly having quasi-psychotic episodes, encouraging each other in that, where someone will say, like, I saw 5 red trucks today. 5 on my way to the bank. On the way back, I saw 3 more. Also, my neighbor, she stopped me and she said, I got this mail for you. Address on the envelope, 665 Northwest Post Avenue, whatever. And it's like, all of this to them is like, and another thing, and another thing. And people will comment and respond and be like, better be on edge, man. Like, it's like, clearly this is, and the only people that go in there to try and fix it are doing it in the most like tone deaf, mean-spirited, like, you guys are all retards and you're fucking morons and you need to go to a psychiatrist because you're mentally ill. And it's like, you're not gonna, they just by starting that conversation, everybody who believes this is already like, that's a perpetrator of this. That's someone that you need to, that person is trying to undercut us, gentlemen. It's trying to undercut us here. Don't believe them. So they're
clearly mentally
more
ill.
Real than you think.
They're clearly mentally ill. But look, I always side on the side of caution when I hear something like this, because I know how the internet works. So when I don't believe that there are very, very many people who actually believe the earth is flat, for example.
Yeah.
I think that there are people who are trolling and they're like, oh yeah, it's flat. Oh yeah, here's this study. Let me show you. And they really love both of the reactions that you'll get. They would love it when someone is like, holy shit, man, you're right. They're like, oh, I got another one. But they also love it when people are like, are you insane? And then they spend 30 minutes trying to prove that the world is round. Like, either way, they win. I think there are a lot of people who are like that. And then those are the ones who have like above average intelligence. And then there's all the dummies who are like, holy shit, man, maybe they're right. Maybe we're just on a big sandbox somewhere floating in the nether realm or whatever the fuck they believe. And like the explanations for what the earth actually looks like is always so absurd. They think it looks like the iris of an eye, or it's a big triangle, or it's always something nonsensical.
Or it's like a flat plane that's a circle, but it's the Arctic that's a complete circle around with the ice wall you can't get past. And they never, or at least I haven't done my due diligence, I'll admit, but I've never seen a convincing argument about why every other planet is round. Like, why would we be special?
They don't believe that they are. I think that I've heard both. I've heard them be like, oh, no, all the planets are like that. It's just a flat side facing us. And it's like, but they're rotating. But then I've heard them say that it's just us. We're the only one with people on it. Duh, dude.
Yeah, duh, idiot. The one with people on it has to be flat. Otherwise, you'd fall off. There'd be no Australia.
No, it's just nonsense. And so when I hear the gang stalking thing, that is so absurd that I think that you have like a very small minority of people who have schizophrenia being like egged on by internet trolls.
I think that's probably true to an extent, because there's clearly a bunch of posts here that is just people showing up to bully them. Or even sometimes I've seen people will make a post and be like, I made a post yesterday saying that I was an ex-perpetrator of gang stalking and I laid it all out and all of you retards fell for it. Ha ha ha. I was lying the whole time. And it's like, don't believe his backtracking. His seniors must have called him out on his lapse. And it's like, oh, you're really not helping here, man. You're not helping these people to see through the delusion. It's spooky. I feel bad for people with that level of delusion, because you know that, like, to them, they're not faking. It's 100% real to them. Like, everything it's like, if you read about people with paranoid schizophrenia, like, it's not like Hollywood. Oh, these people are murderers and killers and they're just going to snap. And it's like, no, these people are mostly like concerned because the person at the bank spent longer looking at the screen when they gave them their debit card than they usually do, which means, of course, that they're sending a side email to the NSA to report them for purchases they've been making. What purchases? Doesn't matter, because I'm a targeted individual, and they're going to come after, and it's like, it's wild. It is wild when you get into these communities.
And they've never got a good explanation.
Don't harass them, just read it.
Like, they've never got a good, like, if they had like a background story about how, like, oh yeah, it's all of the people like born under this astrological sign. Like there's a cult, and they believe that all the Tauruses are going to be blood sacrifices for when Cthulhu comes back, and so they're keeping track of us. If it was something like that, you'd be like, shit, I'm a Taurus.
Yeah.
like looking out the window, like
that's what
you buy into it a little bit. But they're just like, yeah, there's red cars and the number 6. It's like, well, there's only 10 numbers. No,
Yeah.
there's only 9 numbers, right? Yeah, like whole numbers, obviously just. And then there's only so many fucking colors that cars come in.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're looking for, it's funny that it's red. Like
there's 10 numbers.
It's not like, oh, all of these cars in British racing green. It's like, no, they go with a common one that like tons of trucks are in red for reasons, and like that's just doesn't make sense. Well, obviously, it doesn't make sense
to me at some level, because here's the deal. I fly Paramotor, and because of that, and I made these Paramotor videos, there's some people in the aviation community that thought either I or my setup was interesting. So planes pass over the house, and then they pass over it like again and again, and they're flying lowish at like 1,000 feet, making multiple passes over my house. And I'm like, does he watch my videos? Why is this like little Cessna or this helicopter going back and forth over my house? It's not crazy. People have sent me pictures or said, Woody, I flew over your house. I was checking it out. And on the other hand, I feel like a guy watching black helicopters saying that they're here to get me.
Yeah.
So anyway,
well, most of these people don't even have something flying over them at all.
Right.
And there's a mix of like what flavor the delusion is, I can tell, because there will be disagreements here between the people who think that it's a government, NSA, FBI, CIA psyop, which like is like, okay, well, at least those organizations do a lot of psyops. They're not spying on you though. And the other side, which is like satanic demons, where like, no, don't let them make you believe that these are, this is anything but Satan and evil and demons tracking you in like human form. It is. Oh, I just saw this post. An FBI CIA type trick to trick me. Let's see what this says. A few years ago, I was active on the. Or you guys talk for a second. Let me make sure that this isn't stupid.
On a related note, Tucker Carlson did this, and I'm not sure if he's crazy or not. Did you follow this news at all, Kyle? Tucker Carlson saying, okay, so he announced that I think the NSA, CIA, one of the 3-letter agencies, was reading his mail and spying on him. And they were like, this is crazy. Tucker is not the target of an investigation. Well, that response is a little bit lawyerly, right? They didn't say we didn't do anything he said. They said he's not a target. Later, it comes out that this is what they did. They monitor emails to and from like Russian agents and Russian politicians just through like nosy tracking sort of spying type shit. I don't know how they do it. And some of them were from Tucker Carlson because he was trying to get an interview with Vladimir Putin. He didn't, but like that's what he was working on, which is a reasonable thing for someone in Tucker's position to do. Yeah. And then they unmasked him, which is normally when there's an American involved, they keep their identity private. Just say like Vladimir Putin sent an email to person of interest 1 or something like that. Yeah. But they looked into it and they said this was Tucker who was doing it. And I don't know what to make of that.
Aren't they not supposed to do that?
Unmasking?
Yeah.
That's where I'm stuck. So there's a part of me that's like, dude, they're looking into it. They're supposed to monitor this mail, I suppose. And they unmasked you. Stop making a big deal out of it. Then the other side of me is like, what are you, cuck? Like, unmasking is a big deal. They're not supposed to be doing that. You're a citizen. What, you're okay with being spied on? Like, So I don't know if
Mhm.
what they
I don't
did
care
is
who it
outrageous
is, but
or
if it's one of
not.
those alphabet agencies doing something like unmasking, I don't give a fuck who it is. Like I don't like that. They don't have enough power. They don't have enough leeway to do whatever the fuck they want. They got to just insult to injury, show like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. And because we have gay pornography of every politician, nothing's going to happen. Like
it's like the Incredibles, like when everybody's super, nobody's super. I feel like at some point all the politicians should be like, well, I'm not embarrassed. They've got gay porn on all of us. But
that would be funny. They all come out and they're like, guys, all at once now, let's just admit to being pedophiles. They can't vote they can't vote all of us out.
We're incumbents. We win anyway. But yeah. So they unmasked Tucker Carlson. Even so, he wasn't the target of it. They were just monitoring emails to Putin, and but he added like spice to it. This is the thing. Tucker is like, they're doing this and they're trying to take my show in the air. They want to take away my First Amendment rights. They want to lock me up. All of that spice was untrue, but it was true that they read his emails and said his name.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought somehow it was tied into the CIA's watching me thing. Taylor, was your post worth it?
It was not. It
Okay.
really went off the rails. You keep reading these and you're like, is it gonna get funny? And it's like, oh no, this is a catastrophic life event for this person that they thought they saw, an FBI agent tracking them. And one of the rationales I've seen for why they're targeted is almost narcissistic. And that seems to permeate a lot of people with like paranoid delusions also, where it's like you're so important that these people need to devote inordinate resources to tracking you, go work at Kohl's and then come back and watch fucking Price is Right. And it's about energy. A lot of them they'll say like, be wary of contact with people. If someone asks you to do something for them as a favor, they wield power over you now. That is a form of psychic manipulation. Now you're more likely to do something for them in the future. And you've surrendered a bit of power. Now they know that they can get you and work you into the pattern they want. It's like, how have your patterns changed in the last 3 years? It's like, not at all. Okay. I mean,
assistant to the manager at Kohl's.
And it's like, apparently it's like against the rules here to bring up mental illness. Like if you say literally, like if you say like, this is thinking that someone has implanted bugs into your head and is recording things in your brain is a very common form of paranoid delusion where they think like, literally there's an audio plant in my head. That's why I'm hearing voices. It's not because I have a neurological disorder. It's this plant. And like in the moment, you feel bad for them. You can't help feel bad for them because it's like they believe that as much as like, a Muslim believes in their religion. Like 1,000,000%. Like if you were to put a gun to their head and be like, are you psychotic or is there a fucking plant in your head? They'd be like, there's a plant in my head. Why would I lie if you're going to kill me? Like they really are sold 100% on it.
Well, that probably shouldn't be a subreddit. It sounds like they are reinforcing some people's mental illness and that could end poorly.
That's how a lot of subreddits go. It's like we're a community, and then it's like, don't come in here with your facts. We're talking about gang stalking. And what are some other good forums on that, like on Reddit, that are just ridiculous and mental illness inducing, or at least encouraging, if not inducing? I'm trying to think.
Women.
Ask Women. I've never been there. What the fuck is on Ask Women?
I was just teasing.
I got it though. I was slow, but I got it.
Ask Women. How do I drive? I guess that would ask.
We wanted to ask. Was it something about what women liked?
Oh,
yeah. We got a question removed from there once.
Yes.
It was.
We literally had a question for women, and they were like, "Can't post this." What are you doing?
Yeah, they're like, you can't ask questions that like refer to women as a generalized group or something. Like I think we wanted to know if women. Maybe it was women to find a large amount of ejaculate attractive. I think that might have been it.
Something like that. Yeah,
that might be right.
And it was like, we literally just want to know. Like we want to ask women a question as men. Like, are we not allowed to do that? No, that is not what Ask Women is about. Oh, whoops.
You think that Ask Women is about asking a monolithic forum that represents women You couldn't be more wrong.
Turns out we were.
What it's about is making sure that it's exactly curated to what the person that started the forum's, preferences, and they'll remove everything.
No, it's just a circle jerk for them to like pat each other on the pussy all day, and they don't want any men coming in there, or certainly not any cisgendered men.
Yeah.
Asking questions.
Would it be different if men had to carry and birth children? What?
What would be
Abortion
different?
would be cheap and easy available. Like, what are you talking about?
Was that a proper answer?
No, it's not a proper answer.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
maybe as an example of that, we should look at public funding from tax dollars towards specifically female health issues and specifically male. I wonder what we'll find. We'll probably see that the patriarchy is spending all our money on male health issues, right? Oh, fuck, it's the opposite. It's way more in female-specific things. Sorry, one comment blew you the fuck out, idiot. Dumbass. What a stupid forum.
This is how Taylor spends his nights.
I just yell at myself. And another thing about your stupid forum that doesn't answer questions.